Welcome to Poopcast. I'm Jimmy Davis.
I'm a guy that loves pooping.
And I'm MasterJoJ. Here I'm the guest today.
And, oh yeah, I should also mention this for YouTube. This should be the first episode up on the new Poopcast channel. I haven't actually created it yet, but I will. As soon as
I didn't know about that.
I'm pretty sure I told you about that.
I don't remember that.
It's going to be a new channel just for the Poopcast, right?
Yep. Yeah, because I want to try to start doing these every 2 weeks as opposed to every 4 weeks, and I just think that's too much non-YTP content to have on my YouTube Poop channel. But before we get into this, I have two pieces of fan art. There's this one from Nintendom64. This is based off of a conversation we had, or something we mentioned in our conversations about my cartoon crushes, Morshu, or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. It was in the last episode. Then this other one from Levi Peabody on Twitter. And that, yeah, if you have any fan art you want to send us, you can send it to either me or Logan on Twitter. Links in the description for those two. But anyway, so we'll get started with the way that I want to try to get these every episode started with is what's the story of how you first discovered YouTube Poop leading up to when you decided to make your own YouTube Poop channel?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's only been like a few years that I known about it. I think it's been like 4 years now. And so the first time, I actually remember the first time I actually have kind of a good story about this.
Okay.
So the first time I just found it, it wasn't even called a YouTube Poop. You know, it was one of the ones where it didn't have it in the title. I clicked on it. It was this Jeopardy one, and it's by this guy called Talksword, right?
Okay.
And like, it was an old YouTube Poop, and I feel like that was one of his first videos too. So I mean, like, it's okay, but there's some pretty good parts in it. It's like he conspired with Brutus against his murder or something, and then the guy's like, always regret it. It's like a Jeopardy one.
Okay.
Actually made me want to make my Jeopardy one. And actually a few years later, his channel actually got removed.
Oh yeah?
I'm pretty good at computers, you know, I'm a computer science major. So I actually went and I tracked him down on the internet.
Okay.
Kind of creepy. But I actually tracked him down and I got his videos, and they're actually on my channel right now. So the first YouTube Poop I actually watched is now on my channel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So did you ever get a chance to talk to him or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually kind of wanted to make a YouTube Poop with him.
Oh yeah? What'd you say his name was?
Talksword.
Okay.
He's famous for the magic bullet ones. I think this is probably his most famous ones.
Okay.
They're pretty good.
And so when was this? Like what year was this that you found that?
All right, so that would have been. See, I haven't been around for that long actually. So I think that would have been 2013. The beginning of 2013, so about 4.5 years.
Okay. And when was it that you first started making YouTube Poops?
It took about a year and a half. You see, the more and more I got into it, I really like watching Wilford Brimley ones in the beginning, and I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. I kind of want to make them. And at that point, I didn't really know what I wanted to do on YouTube, and actually, my channel, it started out as like a gaming channel.
Oh yeah?
And I made one YouTube Poop. I'm like, wow, this is really fun. And people actually really liked it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to just convert my channel. So it was this really stupid, cringy name. It was called Herp Derp Gamers. And I changed it to MasterJoJ. But my first few videos actually have the Herp Derp Gamers watermark on them. Yeah.
I'm looking through your videos right now, so I'm kind of distracted. You can say stuff too, Logan.
I just don't have anything to say.
Oh, come on. You gotta get in this. Everyone I watch, you just been in the background.
I just
Come on,
I just don't talk much in general.
I
Well,
want to know about you. You're like the secret friend of Jimmy Davis. I know you guys have like done a few things together.
well, we're brothers.
What?
So.
Oh, you brothers?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for the longest time, every time I'd ever talk about him, I would say my younger brother Logan, a guy that loves pooping. So for a while, I almost thought of just calling him exclusively that because I thought it was kind of funny, but I decided against that. But yeah, Logan was actually he was the one who kind of got me into YouTube poop. I mean, I've been kind of watching YouTube poops off and on since like 2008 or 9, but it wasn't until 2012 when Logan introduced me to. I think I maybe told you this in one of our other conversations that we had, or maybe that was in another episode of Poopcast, where before I found TheThingsOne was the one that Logan introduced me to in 2012, or actually I think that was 2013 actually. And before then I had never watched a YouTube poop channel. I had only ever watched like individual YouTube poops, and I'd never really realized that there were whole channels dedicated to YouTube poops.
Yeah. Yeah, the Things is awesome. He's like the pioneer of the early days. Well, of like I guess like the Middle Ages of YouTube poop, at least from our perspective now at this current time in YouTube poop. I really like I really looked into the history of YouTube poop. That's really fascinating to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and you met TheThingsOne recently. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I've been planning for a few years to go to this thing where every once in a while he does a panel. It's every year. He does a panel at a My Little Pony convention. I like to know nothing about My Little Pony. So I got my friend, he's like my travel guide, to come along with me and navigate through the foreign world. And
a brony friend or like an actual somebody to actually drive you there?
No. I can drive. He can't drive.
Okay.
He's like my friend. He's also a brony.
Okay.
So he went to come along, and of course we're both big YouTube poop fans. We kind of drove ourselves into the downward spiral of YouTube poop together.
Okay.
Both getting ourselves into all these YouTube poops, and so we drive out there, driving on the highway. It's like a super long drive because I have to drive to Ohio. I don't really want to say where I'm from because like I don't want crazy people after me.
Well, you're the person who tracked down a YouTube pooper to take their videos and upload them to your channel, so.
Yeah, I know. So I know firsthand how crazy you can get. Yeah. So
what was it,
anyways,
what was that like then to meet YouTube pooper in person? And I imagine that must have been a little bit strange because I know it's even just going from talking to people through text conversations to like an actual voice conversation. That's weird enough, so I imagine it's even weirder going to meeting him in person.
Well, yeah. So I mean, we're driving along. It's like a couple hour drive. Finally get there, and like we get there late, and they close like registration. So like, and of course, the daytime I think is kind of like pure and innocent. Like it's pretty regular, and then the nighttime it gets kind of wild and crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a My Little Pony convention. So like we tracked down the guy who like who was like supposed to do registration, but it's closed now. So it is kind of like oh crap, gonna miss the thing. Is this first panel out of the 2 that we stayed for, and the guy is like doing shots, and we're like, oh, can you like sign us in? He's like, oh, what? But thank goodness, yeah, he's really nice though. We finally get signed in and go to the panel. Like I thought, like I don't know anything about My Little Pony, and I figured like a convention would be like really crazy to go to because it's like all the insane super fans all coming to one place.
Yeah.
And so I thought it would be like there'd be just like ponies everywhere, and I'd just be sitting there like this one regular guy sifting through all of it. But
yeah.
it actually wasn't like that crazy. It kind of surprised me. I felt like it was just kind of like regular, like maybe if you were in just some kind of club at school or something, just every once in a while you see someone kind of dressed up. But it was actually really regular and chill, and that kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
And so we get to the room that the Things is going to give us a presentation in like half an hour early. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out and get a drink of water, and then like, I walk by him and I do like a double take, like, holy crap, it's the things.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just like, oh, he's on the phone, I'll come back, and then finally I come back and he's off the phone. I'm like, hey, I'm MasterJoJ, and he's like, oh, you're MasterJoJ, I know you. And I was like, what? He knows me? I guess I know he's seen like one or two of my videos, and I think he tweeted out one of them. But it's kind of cool. I didn't know he actually watched like all my videos. I was really surprised. It's pretty cool because like for me, meeting TheThingsOne, like he's like my favorite entertainer. Period. You know.
Yeah.
So to me, that would be like that'd be like me meeting like my favorite band, or like for someone else, or favorite actor like in Hollywood. But for like me, that I really like YouTube Poop more than like any kind of entertainment. So meeting him was like meeting like favorite celebrity, and then for him to see you like as an equal, it was like epic.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wanted to go. I mean, I live, really long ways away. It would have been like I think I actually looked it up on Google Maps just for fun to see what it was, and it would have been like a 22-hour drive one way. And I figured that I would make the trip if I had the money and the free time, but I don't even have a car good enough to make a trip that far, and that would have been a little bit weird to try to borrow a van to go to a My Little Pony convention to meet my favorite pooper. But yeah, like I said, I would have gone if I could have gone, but I know he recorded it. I think this was 2014 or 15, something like that. It's been a couple of years now.
Oh yeah, he recorded it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that one. It looked like would have been a lot of fun to go to. He had other YouTube poopers were there too.
Yeah, that's what made me really want to go.
Yeah. I forget.
Wasn't that like? Wasn't that like 2013 though?
It might have been. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
I don't even remember exactly who all was there.
It was the things that I talked about it. It was him. CS188 was supposed to show up. He didn't show up, and there was one guy. He did My Little Pony YTP MVs. He was there, and there was some other dude I can't remember. And then there was Radical Faith 16, which is the guy who did all the reenactments of CS188's stuff. I think those are the 4 people that were there. Yeah, this time around, it was just the things, but like I felt like I feel like it's better than the one on video, and plus, I think it's better being in person there.
Oh yeah. Everything's better in person as opposed to on video.
Yeah. So like, if you want to go next year, like my house is kind of I don't think I'd say it's like a midway point between there. But like, if you wanna chill one night at my house, then we could both go over. If that's like a plan, we could do that if you want.
Yeah, well, we got a whole year to plan ahead for that, so maybe we should start planning that.
Yeah, because I know the things. You're probably like his favorite YouTube pooper or something. So I think he'd probably like to meet you.
Did he mention me or anything like that, or are you just guessing?
Well. Yeah, he did mention you. He did really want you to come, I think. And I know he showed a big group of YouTube poops, but I didn't stay for that because it was like 4 in, and I didn't get any sleep the night before, and I had to do a massive drive back to where I live, and
oh yeah,
so I didn't stay. But I'm sure that yours were in there. I wish I kind of got to see that list because I was looking for good YouTube poops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there when he was? He just a few days ago uploaded a YouTube poop that he said he made mostly at TrotCon 2017. Were you?
Yeah.
Were you there to watch him do that then?
Mm-hmm. So the 2 events that I was there with him for, I was there with him for the one where we watched all of his How It's Made ones, and then he premiered the How It's Made YouTube poop, the new one that he uploaded in there. In the room, we were the first people to see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be so much fun to be able to see a premiere of a YouTube poop. I know for the King's Nostalgia Trip, the big story-based YouTube poop that I'm working on, I had for a while considered doing some sort of like a live stream where I would play it live, so it'd be almost like a premiere. but I decided against doing that because I wouldn't want there to be any kind of issues with like internet connection or anything like that. You know, frame rate drops, that sort of thing. So I think whenever I get that one done, which I have it on hold at the moment. I'm trying to get other projects out of the way, but when I do get that one done, I think I'm going to make an announcement video like a week in advance and say that it's going to go public on that day, at that time, whatever. So it'll be almost like a premiere in a sense, but it's still not the same as being in a room with a bunch of people watching it together.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a closed off audience too. It's kind of cool. It's kind of feels like you're getting something really special being there. And then if you go maybe next year or something, the things kind of wanted to talk about. He wanted to get a group together, but I don't know how well that's going to work because that would take a lot of planning.
Yeah, I was thinking about that a while ago. It'd be kind of fun to get some kind of like a YouTube poop convention. I mean, I have no idea how that would even be possible, but if it were possible, that'd be a ton of fun.
Yeah, it takes a lot to make a convention.
Yeah, actually,
even if it were something really tiny, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I just Googled it because I was curious to know what would happen if you Googled, how to host a convention or whatever it was, and it's like it's $1,000 project, thousands of dollars, so it's not exactly easy. And then on top of that, it seems like with YouTube poopers, there's a ton of YouTube poopers, but in terms of like the notable YouTube poopers, the bigger name YouTube poopers, are kind of scattered everywhere. As opposed to like regular YouTube celebrities. A lot of them live in like California, so to have some kind of convention for YouTubers, it's easy enough. You just do it in California. But with the YouTube poop convention, it'd be kind of hard to find a spot to host it where you could get the most amount of people to come.
Yeah, I think probably the best place would be somewhere along the center of the East Coast. Actually, what's kind of funny is that Emplemon and Hurricoaster, they happen to live like in the exact same area. Yeah. It was kind of hilarious because he told me where he lived, and then Hurricoaster told me where he lived, and I was like, "What? You guys live in like the same area?" Yeah. They live like a mile away from each other. It's pretty funny.
Huh. I've always thought that'd be kind of funny if I happen to run into somebody who recognized me from my YouTube poops. I don't think that would ever happen, but that'd just be kind of funny to happen. I know my older sister actually got recognized on the street one time, and she had like 100 subscribers. So it's pretty unlikely, but it's still technically, when you think about it, it's completely possible.
Yeah, especially around your area, if you showed a lot of people, it's like friends through friends that could have gotten it to. So that's probably why it happened for your sister. Yeah. But I think I had to go outside to get recognized. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like going outside. I've actually, I've been working a maintenance job for over 5 years now. The job that I'm working at now, which is a night shift. Usually this is a time, we're recording this at, right now it's at 12:45 my time, and normally this would be about the time I'd go to bed. Actually, I usually go to bed about noon, and then get up at 8 or 9 p.m. and go into work and work all night, so I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't even really like the sun. I like the night. It's cooler at night. Vampire. Yeah, well, yeah, I already knew that. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Just say that
cooler at night.
It's what?
I just said the last thing you said, so maybe you could remember. It said you don't like the sun. It's cooler at night.
You talk so infrequently that I always forget you're there.
Oh. Like what? Who's that?
But yeah, that would be getting back to meeting other YouTube poopers. That's definitely something that I'd really like to do. I was thinking about kind of just recently started considering maybe looking into taking a trip, like an actual trip across the sea, like going over to the UK or something like that. Because I was thinking about that a little while ago, and I thought, I'd love to go to the UK, but I don't really have a reason to go there. But then I realized, well, I do have a reason to go there because I want to go there. There's
Yeah.
you don't have to have a historical landmark to visit or whatever. It'd just be kind of fun to go. And I know there's a ton of YouTube poopers in the UK that I could meet up with if I ever went.
It's really condensed there.
Yeah.
I feel like the best place to meet the most YouTube poopers would be to go to England because, well, I mean, the country is a little bit bigger than you think or whatever, but I feel like southern England probably be the best place to meet the most YouTube poopers.
hmm Yeah, I know the Plums Joker. Have you ever heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know on Twitter I think he's met up with like 3 or 4 different YouTube poopers. He's tweeted about him. Well, and I think 256 Pi. You know who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just recently like took a trip to the UK or something like that because he was in a picture with the Plums Joker and I think another British YouTube pooper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to. That was fun when I met up with TheThingsOne. Yeah. I really want to do it again. Like afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back next year.
So are you going to talk about what we were talking about before we started recording, or would you rather not bring up the?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll keep going with the story of me being there.
The My Little Pony convention, the non-YouTube poop side.
Yeah, so we went to that convention. It was really cool to watch him make how it's made. Well, he didn't make it. He showed it all. It was kind of cool to get his insight too on the whole process. And of course, the first how it's made's got to be like one of my favorite YouTube poops of all time.
Uh-huh.
So it was fun to watch in the audience. Like everybody gets laughing. It's kind of like it's kind of cool. It's kind of like contagious and fun.
Yeah.
And so after that we hung out a lot because I think a lot of other people were there for My Little Pony stuff, and like I'm pretty sure the Things is like a brony, but like kind of a low key one, like not super into it.
Yeah.
And so my friend and I and the Things and the person if you're a super The Things fan, the girl from Waffle Tots, Pam, was also there to like be with the Things during the convention and like help him out with his computer and stuff like that. And so we all went around and talked for a little bit, and I asked him about some fun things to do there in Columbus, because that's where the convention is, Columbus, Ohio.
Uh-huh.
And and so like we're thinking about what to do, like what do we want to do, and so we were like, well, there's a lot of events going on. It's like the night, so it's a little more of the I don't want to say sketchier side, a little more of the I guess
the colorful
darker side. The colorful side. Yeah, exactly. So we're like, so why don't we go around? We're just gonna look and observe more of the cringier My Little Pony events that are going on, or just like panels that are going on. So the first one we went to was there's a Shrek panel, a Shrek meetup.
Uh-huh.
So we're like, it's just like kind of the hallway is like abandoned. We're going down, and we're like, is this the door? And so we like open up the door, and it's just like pitch black in there, and everybody's like, woo!
What is it? Was it an orgy or something? Is that what you're getting at?
Man, I don't even know what's going on there. It was like everybody had like masks on, like really creepy Shrek masks.
Okay.
And like it was pitch black in there. Like I was like, what the heck are they doing here in the pitch black? And so it turns out they have like a little tiny tablet, and they were watching Shrek 2 on it. And they were just like guzzling down beer.
Okay. That sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, we were like, what the heck's going on in here? Man, we found the fun room. And they're like, come on in, yeah, have a drink, unless you're under 18.
I wonder if that's
21,
how.
I mean.
I wonder if that's how normal people feel coming into the YouTube poop panel.
Well, the thing is like a really easy person to talk to, and he had really good presentation skills. I feel like his convention was less completely insane with like drinking going on.
He wasn't wearing a Mama Luigi mask?
No. Nobody had like spaghetti on their head or anything.
That's too bad. They should do that next year.
Just like dip our heads in a bowl of spaghetti.
Actually, if I do end up going to TrotCon next year, I should cosplay as King Harkinian.
Or Jesus.
It's the same thing, just a crown.
Yeah, okay.
So then after that, there was this one event. It was called like it was just called AA After Dark.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was like 18 plus or something, and so we're like, what the heck is this? Is it like Alcohol's Anonymous?
For 18-year-olds?
I guess. Well, I mean, you had to be 18 to get in.
Okay.
And so, like, is it like Alcohol's Anonymous? I mean, I could imagine after just being in the Shrek room, maybe.
Yeah. Imagine walking in on Alcoholics Anonymous and everybody's just wearing a Shrek mask.
It's like exactly like the Shrek room.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I don't think that's Alcohol's Anonymous though. Well, so we get to the door. There's like a big guy. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna need to see your ID to get in here." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And so I mean, get in there, and it just seems like any other room, but like, of course, like protected. And the door is like locked with like a chain.
Oh, that's always a good sign.
So I guess what this room was we had uncovered a den of My Little Pony porn.
Ooh, that sounds fun. You could just I think if you just Google My Little Pony, that's like the second thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I'm not speaking from experience, I'm just guessing.
Oh, okay.
I actually I it's not exactly My Little Pony porn, but I did have to Google search an image of Shrek one time, and just I don't even think I scrolled down that far, but then I ran into this thing it was a ship between Shrek and Shadow the Hedgehog, but they were both drawn as My Little Pony characters.
Hey, what?
I knew about the Shrek and Shadow ship, but the pony thing?
I kind of feel like that might have been just a joke, but at the same time, it's really hard to tell sometimes.
With the Sonic fan base, you never know.
Yeah. So, back to pony porn.
Yeah, of course. What is there to say about that? Well, okay. So we go in there. You expect it to be like really creepy or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But like it was so casual.
That somehow makes it creepier.
Like it was like any other room, like that you'd expect in like a convention.
So you're saying the Shrek 2 screen was weirder than the pony porn?
Oh, but well, I mean, it. The thing is that you would think like the My Little Pony porn room. It was like. It wasn't weird until you just look down at what's on the tables. Okay. And then you're like, what the heck's going on? Like, I was just kind of confused. I had to just sit down. And we looked around. It was I definitely got overloaded a little bit there.
So
it was a lot to take in. I mean...
So, well, I guess the best way to phrase the question is, would you do it next year?
I probably won't go in that room again.
Okay, that's fair.
But I mean, I feel like I can kind of understand people are into like weird things or whatever. It was just so weird for me to like be in like physical location with all sorts of people looking at this. It was just it was very weird for me. But everybody was like so nice and everything.
Yeah.
It was so I don't know. It's just a weird experience. What it was.
So when we have a pooper convention, we got to have a porn room then for all the YouTube poop characters.
Oh yeah, got to get my Dr. Robotnik thickness.
Does that exist?
What?
Actually, wait. Why am I asking that? Of course it exists.
Isn't that what Rule 34 literally is? If it exists, there is
Yeah.
porn. So yes.
Yep. Yeah. If you can think it, it exists. Like the Shrek and Shadow ship. Somebody thought it, so it exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You might be walking yourself into a corner here, Jimmy, with
What?
your own self.
What?
You're like, is there any YouTube poop porn? You're gonna have some fan art next time.
Google Images for Rule 34 YTP.
You know, there's actually a subsection of Rule 34 that says if it exists, then there's a YouTube poop of it.
Oh, that makes sense too.
It's like Rule 34 clause like B or something, or C or something.
This is kind of similar topic, Logan. Logan, didn't you say that there was somebody? I don't know if it was on YouTube or YouTube or whatever. Somebody got banned for using porn as a source or something like that.
What?
I thought you told me that.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I remember this. This was a person who was a troll. He would like steal people's videos. And
Was that Shruck is Druck, or is this a different person?
yeah, it was Shrek is Druck, and he was
Okay.
hosting a collab called the Porn Collab, where the main source is porn. And I do remember I was just looking for YTPMVs, because sometimes I'll just do that. I'll look up a YTPMV of whatever, and then I'll just kind of scroll through. And then one of the videos I found was I made a porn YTPMV, link in description, and then the thumbnail was warning it's on a porn site.
You know what? That is actually kind of an interesting idea, because you know how people YouTube poopers, they'll take the most innocent thing and make it into like really dirty. I wonder if somebody could take a porn source and make it clean.
I've seen YTPMV collabs where they'll use hentai.
Well, that's every YTPMV collab.
Not all of them, but
I've never seen that.
Honestly, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't kind of funny.
The one that I find like the most like crazy is there's like this one. I watch a lot of YTPMVs, and there's this one source for it's like gay porn.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I think I've seen this one.
There's a lot of them, and they show up in like every single collab.
I know. I think I kind of know what you're talking about. I know I never watch playlists or compilations of best of YTPMVs because there's always something weird in there. So I think I think that might be what you're talking about.
I've become numb to the weird stuff, honestly.
Well, it's
thanks to
the worst source probably that I've seen is that people have been using the video of the people who did the Columbine massacre as YTPMV.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Well.
Speechless after that. How do you follow that up?
Wait, can we get back to pony porn?
Oh yeah. Well, I said I don't know. I don't know how much more you want me to say. I think I said my 50 cents on it.
Yeah, I was just trying to lighten the mood a bit.
Yeah. Of course. That's. I mean, that's a step back, definitely, from where we were.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that wasn't the end of the convention for me.
Okay.
So that was like the first day. After that, like,
Did you sleep in the pony porn room, or did you get like a hotel or something?
Yeah, I got a hotel. I was originally going to sleep in my car.
Okay.
Because, I don't have, like, college student, not much money.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to sleep in a Walmart parking lot. But my friend came along, and so I ended up getting a room. Actually, when I was driving the car down the highway, the grill of my car just, like, ripped off and, like, flew over the top of the car on the highway.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh crap, we're not getting that back.
And it seems like stuff like that never happens when you're just making a short, like 5-10 minute drive. But every time you're making a long trip, that's when the bad stuff happens.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, it was still only like few hours, but you drive that much. Like in a week or two. Mm-hmm. So you expect some of that stuff to happen. Then it's just, I don't know. It just seems to get crazy whenever you try and do anything that big, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the next day in the convention, it was when he was editing a YTP, and so he edited that Shosh video.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty good. He is so fast at editing.
Yeah.
So I could edit something. I'll take like all day, and I'll get max like a minute done. And he did that. He did that in like 30 or 40 minutes, like almost the entire video that was shown.
Yeah. Well, he has been around since 2009, so I guess he's had quite a bit of experience.
Wait, 2009?
Yeah, I'm on his channel right now, and in the about it's joined 2009, and his video sorted oldest to newest says 8 years ago. So
In 2 years, that'll be a decade. That's insane.
yeah.
Yeah, YouTube Poop is over a decade old now.
Yeah, that's weird to think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 13 years old if you count before it got its name.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess.
didn't know that. I thought it was 13 years old from the. I'd say he's hot on our. 10 years since I say he's hot on our tail.
No, that was 2004. So that
Oh
was
boy.
that was before YouTube.
Yeah, it was a year before YouTube.
That's crazy. YouTube Poop's older than YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that a little while ago, that somebody could be on YouTube right now, 13 years old. I know that nobody listens to the 13 years or older rule on YouTube, but if you're going by the rules of being 13 years or older on YouTube, you would be as old as YouTube Poop.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, people that weren't even born probably when you teaching it.
You kind of cut out a little bit there at the end.
Oh well, people that are like weren't even born at the beginning of YouTube Poop are probably now watching it.
Yeah. Well, I think there is a YouTube Pooper right now who's 10 years old.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think he's only 10 or something like that, or was last year or something like that.
Is he any good?
I don't know if I've watched any of his videos. I think I've maybe seen, at least watched the thumbnail. I think I maybe watched one of his videos before. I'm pretty sure he's more of like a visual effects heavy YouTube pooper, and I don't particularly enjoy that style, but I think if you like it, you'd probably like his stuff. I'm gonna look him up really quick.
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
I know I've heard of him, and I know I've like seen a lot of people hating him, and then I watch his videos, I'm like, wait, why? They're not even that bad. It's like, honestly, I think the fact that he's 10 just makes it more impressive.
Yeah. When I was 10, I don't want to show any videos from when I was 10. Holy cow.
Yeah, I first started when did I first start making videos now? I know for sure I wasn't 10. I think I was like 13 or 14. Maybe even, or no, this would have been 2007. So yeah, I would have been 13 then. But yeah, the videos that I made even at 13 are just horrible. Even just as recently as like 5 years ago, I wouldn't want people to watch. They're just so terrible.
Yeah.
What?
I was just gonna say, everything I made from longer than 2 or 3 years ago was garbage.
Yeah.
Just everything.
I'm looking at his channel name. His channel name it's Dim Hexters. And it looks like he hasn't made a video in a year, so I wonder if he gave up.
Oh. I bet he'll be back. That's a pretty early start.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably just needs time to, like, grow and experience the world a little more and YouTube Poop.
I think I'd maybe heard it was more than just his videos that people hated him for. I don't know.
Like what?
I don't know what he was like. It might have been like the way he acted. I don't know. I didn't pay any attention to that.
When you think about when you're 10 years old, you're just kind of naturally a bit of a jerk. So
yeah, that
it's hard to take criticism when you're young.
Yeah, and that really doesn't go away until a long time.
I don't think it ever goes away, really.
Yeah, you just kind of learn to hold it back.
You just learn to ignore it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like when I was like first starting on YouTube back in like 2012, I would get super pissed off when people would criticize my stuff. Even though
you would like remove the comment, and I think even block them if they said anything negative about your videos.
Just in my defense, I was like 13. I was like 13.
Yeah, but
Keep that.
It's still funny. Like I remember you would you would leave like a reply freaking out at them, and then you'd delete the comment, and then you'd block them.
Yeah, not something I would do now.
And the funniest part about it is that your videos weren't any good.
They were awful. I look back at them and I'm like, how did I even have as little subscribers as I had? How did I have any? And then I started making YouTube poops, and then that kind of took a while to get going, but like it took a good year or two before I started gaining any attention.
Yeah,
but I still made them anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to start out on YouTube with like from nothing and get to somewhere.
Mm-hmm. But at least
it takes kind of a while.
At least with something like YouTube poop, I've noticed that that's one of the things on YouTube that people will actually go out of their way and look up just completely random videos as long as they're YouTube poop related, as opposed to if you're just making like sketch comedy videos, people don't tend to just look up just random sketch comedy videos and watch them like they do with YouTube poops.
I think there's kind of a shortage of good YTP versus the amount of people who want to watch videos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very hard to find a lot of good YouTube poops because they kind of take a while to make, you know?
Yeah. And plus it does kind of take a little while to know for sure if a YouTube poop is going to hold up, because sometimes YouTube poops come out and nobody really notices them for like a couple of years or so. And then other times YouTube poops come out and gain a lot of popularity right away, but then nobody remembers them in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those, like every Frozen YouTube poop, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can think of a single Frozen YouTube poop that's held up.
I remember watching some of them and liking them, but it was just kind of like, yeah, that was funny.
Well, I'm sure there are some good ones out there. There's just not nearly as many as there are bad ones.
I forget the name of the video. I remember liking the one by Frozen Cereal though. But
I've seen that one.
I don't think that was like how he got started. I think he was already doing YouTube poop.
I think it was like Elsa makes a YouTube poop or something like that.
I don't think that's what it was. I forget what it was called though.
It's Elsa lets her sanity go, right?
That's what it was.
Oh yeah, that's it. I think I remember watching that one.
And you know, I've watched all of the cold YTPs, and you know, honestly, I think that's kind of why a lot of people hate. I forgot his name.
Number one.
Number one, because I mean, like, if you watch his videos after that, those were like his first YouTube poops. I don't think
YouTube poops are really, really well made.
Yeah,
he's gotten a lot better. Like the Frozen YouTube poops, they were okay, but I think that Cold was like his first YouTube poop, so it's kind of unfair to judge his content based on that.
The amount that he's improved in such a short time is really amazing.
Yeah, because I know, you know, his Cold, you know, I don't know for sure if that was, I don't think that's his first one, but I think that was his first one that really got big. But like that one, I think you could cut out all of the bad filler stuff in there, and you'd be left with maybe like 30 seconds of YouTube poop or something like that. I mean, it's been a while since I've watched it. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember. I just remember there were a lot of parts that went on way too long and weren't really that funny. But then when you watch his more recent stuff, they're really, really good. Like maybe even some of the best editing I've ever seen in a YouTube poop.
Yeah, they've gotten really good. He's improved a ton, honestly. Yeah. And I think the thing that made his really good is his just understanding on a deeper level of how YouTube poop works.
Yeah, and it also helps a lot that he's a really good video editor. You know, he edits for game theory and film theory.
I was like, does he? Mm-hmm. I really tried to figure out. I'm not, like, I know he says that. I'm really not sure if it's a troll or not.
No, it's true.
Oh, how do you know? Well,
you can just tell when he has playlist on his channel of the videos that he's edited, and if you watch them, if you watch those videos and watch his YouTube poops, you can really see the similarities in the editing style. And I'm pretty sure he even used a clip from Cold in one of the game theory episodes.
So that's why game theory is so bad.
Oh yeah.
I I don't hate game theory. I've kind of started to understand why a lot of people don't like it, but I still don't hate it.
Yeah.
I've become friends with some people who despise MatPat, and even them, I don't understand why they hate him so much.
I know I've tried watching a couple of MatPat's Let's Play videos. You know, he has a channel where he does live gameplay videos, and he's really, really obnoxious, if I'm being honest. I can really easily see why some people don't like MatPat, but the game theory videos, I don't really understand why people hate those so much. I can understand not liking them, but there are people who just treat it like it's the worst content on YouTube.
There's much worse stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. I think he's really intelligent, and he kind of throws a lot at you, and so I feel like watching those videos could probably be pretty overwhelming for some people. And sometimes the things he talks about, like, because he has to make a lot of content, you know, and sometimes there just isn't enough to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes with some videos, he's kind of grasping at straws for, like, the topic.
Yeah, and I know he's said before, you know, that he doesn't, just because he makes a video about the theory doesn't mean that he buys into the theory. He's mentioned that before. There's a lot of theories that he's done that he doesn't. He said that the videos basically exist to try to make a case for that theory. And then, you know, there's people who don't like him because they think that he's, you know, that making theories about games and stuff like that is just a stupid thing to do because it's not canon. But I think that's what makes it fun. You know, you kind of add a little bit more to something you already like. And then I know there's another group of people, like younger kids, who hate him because of his Mario is Crazy theory video.
Wait, still?
Well, I don't know necessarily so much anymore, but I know for sure that's happened in the past.
I've noticed, like, I didn't really notice it until like his Five Nights at Freddy's, and then especially his Undertale videos. Like, for some reason, after those, people are just like, "Oh, I hate MatPat now."
Well, those are those are two different things that are as popular as they are. They're just as much hated. It's kind of like the way My Little Pony was a few years ago.
Yeah. Although, I don't even know what I was going to say now.
People don't like things that little kids really get attached to, like the fads that they get into.
Mm-hmm.
People just like outright hate them, no matter what they are. Kind of like fidget spinners and Five Nights at Freddy's and Minecraft.
Every time anything gets popular, people hate it. Like, have you seen that Crash Bandicoot meme, the Woah meme, that's kind of been going around a little while now?
No, I haven't seen that, actually.
Well, I guess it's more on Twitter, but I've seen a lot of people hate that.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of people on Twitter. I see people talking about how it's legitimately the worst meme they've ever seen because it's the way it's this really short video of like this poorly animated Crash Bandicoot model just saying "whoa" over and over again. And people use it for like YTPMV sources, and I've seen a lot of people get upset that a lot of the more popular YTPMV videos using that aren't even like pitch shifted correctly, or sometimes not even at all. Can you hear that?
Yeah. You have like a parrot?
Yeah, that's my bird.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to hating on things that kids like. You know, it's like even if I didn't end up liking Undertale, I don't think I would be spamming how much I hate it.
I still need to play that game.
Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't know if you would really even like it. Honestly,
Isn't it basically just like an Earthbound spiritual successor type thing?
Kind of, but I mean, the thing about Undertale is it's like the story is front and center. Really, that's the main focus. The gameplay it kind of takes a back seat.
So are you saying that I'm an idiot who can't follow stories?
I'm saying that's not what I mean. I just know you usually don't really like story-based games.
When have you? Why would
Sibling
you think
fight,
that?
sibling fight.
What?
Why would you think
What'd you
that?
say?
I've never said that I don't like stories.
You said you were an idiot.
No. You've told me before you don't really care about story-based games.
I said as long as
I'm pretty sure.
I said as long as the gameplay is good, the story doesn't really matter. But if it's focused on the story, then yeah, I don't hate the story.
Oh, okay, I see. Never mind. I guess I misinterpreted what you've meant by that then.
But that being said, I have had the ending spoiled to me, or at least one of the endings, kind of in a way.
There's a few different endings.
Yeah. At least I'm pretty sure it's the ending.
Yeah, my friend was really into that game. Because I mean, the main thing is the story. So I feel like I got like the story, like I watched it most of the way through. So I kind of feel like I don't really have to play it. And plus, I actually have this pretty horrible eye problem. Well, it's actually a brain problem, and it makes me see like static on a television screen, like in my vision at all times.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty screwed up. It's like super rare too, and especially on black and white, I would see all that static and.
Oh yeah, that I imagine that wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to focus and stuff like that, especially like white paper, black text. There's like a bunch of static going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know that like there's like the battles are all black and white, so I guess I could see how that could be annoying.
I thought the whole game was black and white. That's all I ever see.
No, it's just the battles.
Huh.
Everything else is in color.
Well, speaking of Undertale, you know, the most popular aspect of it is the music, and won't probably have a whole lot to talk about this, but I thought I should bring it up because I think it just happened last night or the night before. Logan, you had a tweet retweeted by Egoraptor.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, I am. Because he like tweeted this thing. It was actually I can just look at it right now because this tweet is still getting likes because he has like almost 1 million followers or something like that. It was the tweet said, "All right, guys, the truth finally comes out. This was a really hard one to film, but you guys deserve an answer." And it's just 5 seconds of him screaming. So I made an Undertale YTPMV out of it. It's just 16 seconds long. And then I tweeted that at him, and then he retweeted it. Ooh. And now it's my most liked tweet.
How many likes does it have now?
3,180 with 677 retweets.
Yeah, that's
nice.
That's a lot. My most liked tweet I've ever made has just under 1,000 likes.
I got 1 like on
Cool.
a post. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. Nah, I don't have a Twitter for my YouTube poop channel, so it's just like my for my friends, and I have like 2. So.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever considered starting a Twitter channel for your YouTube poop, or for your YouTube poop channel, so you could follow other YouTube poopers and stuff like that?
Yeah, I thought about it. I might make one eventually. I feel like I'll make one if I get a bigger following. I kind of wanted to do a Q&A on my channel.
Oh, you haven't done a Q&A yet?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I guess looking at your channel, I guess you don't really even have that many videos.
I don't. I've just gotten really lucky. People keep... I don't know. Every time I release a video, like... It usually does pretty well. It's kind of surprising. I think I only have like 20 videos or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's because your videos are that good.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I know. Well, you've done the tennis with Emplemon. Emplemon, shouted out your channel last year, or I think it was last year. Charmex has reacted to at least one of your videos before, so I'm sure that's really helped at least those specific videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I kind of got lucky with that Teen Titans one that went super mainstream.
Yeah, that one has... I'm looking at it right now. It has over 1.5 million views.
Yeah, I kind of hit that at the right time. I wasn't really expecting that. I almost put filler on that video.
Yeah?
I almost just called it filler. Teen Titans YTP or something. And I was like, nah, I'll just put YouTube poop like regular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like lower people's expectations for it or anything.
Yeah.
And that was a good call.
Yeah, every time I use filler in one of my titles, I eventually take it out because it's mostly, for me anyway, I mostly just use that to let people know, my subscribers know that it's not like a huge video. It's usually just like in between big projects, when I just throw something together quickly, I'll just add filler on the title just so people know that it's not what I've been spending the last month on or whatever. But every time I title a video filler, I always get the comment section full of people saying, how is this filler if it's this good or whatever, and I always have to explain to people it's not necessarily about the quality, it's just that it's not as big of a project as my other stuff usually is. And then the last time I uploaded a filler video was my, I think I called it YTP Dear Pesky Plumbers. I don't know if you watched that one. But I didn't put filler in the title, and then people were complaining that it wasn't of very good quality. But I mean, with that one, you know, the intention of that one, it was like intended to look like a really old meme replacement type YouTube poop. So I guess that's maybe where that was coming from. But still, every time I mention something's filler, people wonder why it's filler if it's that good quality. And then when I don't put filler, people say that it's not very good quality. So
I think people just like to see new stuff and funny or original stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think maybe you didn't have to do that for your other videos, but I guess when you're when you're doing a meme replacement video from like the ancient past, it's more of kind of a joke video, you know.
Well, I mean, it ends with like a more modern style YouTube poop ending, just kind of breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think you're fine.
Yeah, it's actually been a little while since I've made a YouTube poop. I'm looking at my channel right now. I think the last time I made like a big YouTube poop was when I made Larry Man Twice at the end of May.
Hey, but do you want to talk about the one we're making?
Yeah, we could talk about that a little bit if you want to kind of tease to it.
Yeah, I mean,
forgot about that.
yeah, we could talk. I don't really care. We could say everything, honestly. I think it just depends on how much you want to say.
We can talk about the source we're using, and I think it's best to maybe leave some of the good stuff out for when it actually comes out.
Why not talk about any of the jokes and stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so Jimmy Davis and I are tag teaming up for 2 videos. The first one's going to be on my channel. It's going to be an iCarly YouTube poop.
Mm-hmm. Which, I forget. I think you maybe just said you didn't really have a specific date set, but do you have a date set for when you want that done by?
Well, okay, so I have to go back to school on the 21st, which is about 15 to 16 days, and so I want to get this one done, like, next week.
Okay.
Which would be the 13th, and then, so that way, because we need to work on your video, and I'm going to be going back to school, going to be really busy, I need to get, like, a head start on that.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I keep saying this to you over and over, but I've been really distracted, and have been finding trouble to find the motivation to get to working on it, so I really haven't done a whole lot yet, but I think I've also mentioned before I tend to work best under pressure, so now that you have a deadline set, I should be able to get it done then.
Yeah, okay. How long do you expect it to be?
I'm not really sure. I was thinking, you know, if we both did 5-minute parts, you know, that'd be a 10-minute long YouTube poop. That's a pretty good length YouTube poop. And
yes, if we can hit the 10-minute magic mark, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I've like I said, I've been kind of busy. I've actually just been kind of having trouble finding the motivation to just make YouTube poops in general this past couple of weeks. I think the biggest problem is just that I started watching a new TV show on, well, it's not a new TV show, but it's new to me on Netflix. It's Supernatural. Have you ever heard of that show or watched it?
My sisters watched that show. I've watched, like, I think 1 episode of that.
Okay. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I've been, for the longest time, been wanting to find a new show to binge watch on Netflix, and I just, you know, that show has been on there ever since I first got Netflix, and it's still going now, so I thought I'd give it a try, and I'm kind of addicted to it now, so I've been busy watching that when I should be making YouTube poops, but maybe I'll make a Supernatural YouTube poop at some point. You
should watch Merlin. Merlin is really good.
I heard that had kind of a crappy ending, though. I
mean, I don't want to spoil it and tell you what happened. I felt like it was okay. I mean, like, I don't really care about endings that would be perceived as kind of bad. I really try not to spoil it.
Yeah, you don't have to spoil it, but for another show that has an infamously terrible ending, have you ever watched Lost before?
Oh, isn't that where they're all? Isn't that where they're? I guess I'll just say it. Okay, spoiler.
Okay.
Isn't that where they all like? Where they? It's like all a dream.
No, not exactly. No.
Oh.
There is a TV show, I guess, where like the finale just turns out it's all in somebody's imagination or something weird like that.
Like how horrible would that be?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Unless that was a plan from the beginning and it was only like a season or 2 seasons long, something like that, and they dropped hints all throughout.
Mm-hmm. But it was really well planned out.
Yeah, but with Lost, the ending with that one, the ending just kind of all fell apart. You know, I won't spoil anything because I think that you should be able to judge it on your own. But I know for like it's a 6-season long series. Like the first 3 seasons were really good. And then the 4th one was terrible. I almost stopped watching it, the 4th one, actually. The 5th one was better, but still not very good. And then the 6th one finally started getting good again until, like, the last 3 episodes. And then it was... I can't really explain it without spoiling anything, but that's an ending that really... It just ruined the entire show for me.
I'd say Merlin, that ending, I kind of liked it. It was a little dark, but I thought the ending was okay.
Okay. Yeah, I know with Lost, I think the biggest problem people had with the finale of Lost, and one of the biggest problems I had with it too, was just the fact that they brought up so many questions in the series that they just never answered. And I guess as long as Merlin isn't like a huge mystery show, then I guess I could see myself watching it. Or I mean, I'd watch it if it was a mystery show, but I don't think the ending would bother me as much if it wasn't that great. If it wasn't a mystery show.
Didn't people like say Lost? The final episode brought up more questions than it answered, or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
I hate those. I hate those so much. Where it's like, oh, gonna get a conclusion, and then it's like, nope.
Yeah. Well, actually, I guess the finale, it did technically answer some questions, but it left a lot of the big questions. And then something like a month or 2 or so later, they made like a 10-minute long internet short that was supposed to cover up answer all the other questions, but that one raised more questions than it answered.
Oh my gosh, they can never win.
Nope.
It's probably a good thing I never got into that show.
It was really, really good for the first 3 seasons, but like I said, season 4, with the first 3 seasons, I was watching it all on Netflix after it had already ended, and during the time watching the first 3 seasons, I would watch like sometimes up to 8 or 9 hours right in a row in a day. It was just that good of a show, and I was watching it all on my 3DS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I watched about half that series on my 3DS. But anyway, I went from watching it, like I said, 8 or 9 hours a day to the 4th season. I think I would watch. Like I said, I almost completely stopped watching it. It would like a week would go by, and I'd finally convince myself to watch an episode so that I wouldn't get lost, because I knew I'd want to finish it sooner or later, and I thought if I waited for too long, I'd forget too much stuff, and then I'd have to start at the beginning. So I just would watch like an episode or 2 a week, and that was all I could watch, just one a day, because it was just that bad.
Yeah. My problem with shows is that I'll watch them, and I'll watch them at a pretty good frequency, but if they're not like really good, then I'll tend to like slowly watch less and less and less until like I haven't watched it in like a month, and then I'll just ditch the show.
Yeah.
I barely watch like any TV.
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why I do, for the most part, prefer like cartoons and stuff like that, where for the most part, a lot of cartoons you don't need to watch like every single episode in order. There's not one big ongoing plot or whatever, so you can kind of watch them out of order or stop for a little while and then rewatch it again. But with shows that have an ongoing plot like Lost, I do enjoy watching those from time to time, but I have to stick with one show at a time so I can just focus on the one show.
The 2 shows I'm watching right now, actually 3. I'm watching Rick and Morty, And then I'm watching The Star versus the Forces of Evil, which is like a Disney show. That's pretty good, actually. I kind of like that. It's like kind of off the wall, crazy, and sometimes doesn't make too much sense, but I kind of enjoy the animation, and it's pretty interesting. You should check it out if you...
Yeah, I've heard of both of those. I really want to watch both of those, but I haven't got a chance to. I mean, I don't have cable anymore. You know, when I moved into my new apartment, I realized that if I got just the internet and dropped the cable, my monthly bill would go down from $95 to $40. So
good call.
Yeah, so I just dropped the cable, but I do definitely want to watch, like, especially Rick and Morty. I've heard that's a really, really good show.
Well, Rick and Morty, they have most of the episodes. They have most of the episodes on Adult Swim, so you can go and watch them actually for free. Yeah,
on their website. On their website. Oh, I need to go do that then. I've been meaning to watch the show, but I haven't had a way to watch it. But now that I know that, I'm gonna have to do that.
Well,
I've watched a few episodes. I watched the first few episodes when they first aired, and then I kind of stopped for a while, and then I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of season 2, and I just haven't really gotten around to watching it all in order.
Yeah,
which I do want to do.
Yeah, the thing I've heard about Rick and Morty is that it does have, you know, more of an ongoing plot to it. So I would definitely want to watch them all in order. Yeah,
you do. It's not like super crazy, but I kind of like it. It's like they do a really good job. It seems like it's really off the wall, but at the same time, it actually makes sense, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I recommend. I really like that show. It's like it's really violent, but whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you do it in a way that's funny, violent humor can work. Unless, you know, as long as you don't do it like Family Guy or something like that.
That's literally what I was gonna say. I was like, unless you're Family Guy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think Family Guy is like the ultimate example of how to do dark humor bad.
It's not dark humor, it's just dark.
Yeah,
they just throw it out there.
Yeah,
it's just like...
They do dark humor without the humor.
Yeah, it's kind of like, holy crap, this is really blunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's shock humor.
Without
if it wasn't
the humor.
Funny. If it wasn't funny. Shock humor if it wasn't funny.
Oh, boy.
That's why it's really easy to buy into the conspiracy theory that Seth MacFarlane is just trying to get Fox to cancel Family Guy.
Which, honestly, with how bad the show's gotten, I wouldn't be shocked.
Wow, we probably triggered like a ton of people.
I don't think there are too many Family Guy fans left out there anymore.
I don't care if you're a fan of the show.
Yeah, I mean, like for the earlier seasons, we're not talking about the earlier seasons. Just to be clear, we're talking about like the recent stuff. Like
okay.
I've only seen a few episodes of Family Guy here and there, but from what I've heard, like the first 3 seasons or 4 seasons, something like that, from what I've heard, are really good. Just kind of like The Simpsons with a little bit more of an edge to it.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that because I was like, a lot of people really like that show. I mean, it must not be too horrible. Okay, I see. It's kind of like SpongeBob. It kind of went downhill.
Exactly. It's like the adult show version of SpongeBob.
All right, I see. I don't watch much TV, so I have to kind of get filled in a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about the source we're gonna do for your video?
Oh yeah. Actually, I did kind of want to talk to you about that a little bit. The one we're planning on using for my video that me and MasterJoJ are going to be doing as a collab on my channel, planning on using Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But the thing about that is I am a little bit concerned now because I've noticed that I think I saw somebody had a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air YouTube poop that ended up being straight up removed from YouTube because of being detected for copyright or whatever. So I'm
like CJ Flow.
Yeah, I'm a little bit...
The flesh pinch ball hair.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I do think as long as it's edited enough and then, you know, maybe like mirror the image or stretch it out or something like that, so it can hopefully get by with that. But I haven't even picked out the episode we're going to use yet. I have the first season. I need to rewatch the first season then and just pick an episode from there. Because I want to try using an episode that isn't like one of the bigger episodes that's been used in like Fresh Prince of Blair or whatever. I want to try using a more obscure episode.
Yeah, okay. That sounds cool. Hey, could I have that really soon?
Yeah, I'll try to get to that as soon as I can.
Because when I go back to school, I have, you see, that's the reason why I don't make so many videos, is because I just get swamped. Like, harder than Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm going to have like 6 classes, and then I'm going to be a TA, and I'm going to be doing like the grading.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to be really, it's going to be a struggle to have free time to do it. So if you get it to me early, I can get a lot of it done before I go back, and that would be really good.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then I was also going to ask, are we planning on trying to get both of those done and uploaded in public on the same day, or are we just going to do like yours first and then whenever mine gets finished? Because I know,
never thought of that.
Because I know that I have a lot of, or at least a few other projects I want to get done and out of the way. So I'm not necessarily in any huge hurry to get the Fresh Prince one done for my channel. Like for example, the one thing that I really should get done immediately really is the round 4 of the tennis match between me and NP Carlson, because I'm just looking at it right now. The last round that he made was uploaded 5 months ago. So I should probably get that done pretty soon.
Yeah, Emplemon hit me kind of hard about that because I was really busy, and it took me a long time to get out the rounds, and then it took him a while for one, and then I did a YouTube poop in between that, and it took even longer to get my round done because of that.
So did you guys just end that tennis match then, or is because it's been a long time, and I know it was supposed to be Emplemon's turn next. Did he just decide to end it with yours or something?
Well, it was supposed to be like I said that was my last round, and I was like, okay, Emplemon, you finish us out, and then he said the estimated date of release was like a year later or something. And actually, that time is coming up, and I don't know. I'm sure he's probably joking. I'm sure he's actually probably done, and he's not gonna make anything. Yeah, he said November 2017 estimated release date.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's joking or not, but if he ends it, that's cool with me. I kind of blasted him kind of hard on that video, so I don't know if he wants to follow that up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. With the match between me and MP Carlson, not going to say exactly how many rounds we have planned out, but we do have the total amount planned out, and it's not too many more, so I think we should try to get this done and out of the way as soon as possible.
Yeah, so if you could send me the source, you don't have to work on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air one, but I'm going to try and get to like around 5 or 6 minutes for the iCarly one, and then you can top it off to 10.
Okay.
And then, but I really like it if I could get that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air source soon, because then I could work on it before school starts again, and I could get a lot done then, and I'll be really struggling to get any more done.
Okay. Yeah.
After that,
I think at this point, since we've already been recording now for a little over an hour, I guess we'll go over to Twitter questions. I have 5 questions on mine, and me and Logan are tagged in our tweets, so we have a total of 5 questions, and we'll get to that, and we're not going to try to hurry through these or anything, but it's just this is kind of the wrap-up section of the podcast. Then if it goes on for another hour, that's fine. But if it only takes another 10 minutes, that's also fine, since we've been going on for more than an hour. So, I guess let me see here. Oh, got another one, so now I have 6 questions.
Ooh.
All right.
Cool.
Starting with NP Carlson. Which of your own YouTube poops have you been the most disappointed by, and why? So
This is for me?
This is just, we'll each answer it, so if you want to go first, you can.
All right, so I would okay. So it's kind of hard when you say disappointed because when you first make a YouTube poop and you release it, you have different expectations than you will of a YouTube poop when you have it like in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So what's kind of funny is the YouTube poops that I was most disappointed while I was making it. There's two that stand out to me. It was the Paula Deen prepares a demon sacrifice and Alex Trebek puts everyone in jeopardy. I almost didn't release those two because I thought they were bad.
Yeah.
But I was totally wrong. Everybody absolutely loved him. And Emperor Lemon for the Alex Trebek one, he actually put it in like his top YouTube poops of like the year.
Yeah.
So I was being way too hard on myself. But the YouTube poop that I like hate, I just do not like. Like all of mine, I actually think they're okay. Like I'll be like, especially my early ones, like, oh yeah, they're pretty good, I guess. But the one that gets me, the one that I just cannot watch, I cannot watch my SpongeBob one. That Tubby goes on a murderous rampage.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've watched that one yet.
I don't like that one. That one, like, it makes me cringe.
That's your second most viewed video.
Yeah.
I think I watched it. I remember. From what I can remember, I think I remembered liking that one.
It's okay. Like it's not bad or anything, but I feel like the jokes I make in it, I don't know. It's just me, honestly. Like it's okay, but the jokes make me personally cringe, and a lot of the editing is like I just see the mistakes in it, and of course, for a while, because I wanted to do a part 2 to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, it's time to do part 2, but like I just looked at it and I was like, oh, I really don't want to do this, and I feel like this is kind of dead-ended and bad, and it'd be really forced.
Yeah.
And so then I tried to remove the part 2 as coming from the end, but once a video gets like over 100,000 views or something, you can't edit it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I couldn't take that off. So I'm constantly haunted by like, when are you going to make part 2? Is part 2 coming out soon? All that. And so I just look back at that video and I just can't stand that video for me.
Huh.
Okay, so
All
what
right.
about you guys?
So what about you, Logan? You can go next. The video you were the most... You're one of your videos that you're the most disappointed with.
Yeah, I know I say this every time whenever this topic is brought up, or similar topic. It's SpongeBob's crappy Christmas. I've been working on that video for like 8 months or something like that, but I look back on that and I think it's one of my worst videos. It's not good. It's just not good. I don't know why it's my most viewed video.
It's because it's SpongeBob.
Exactly.
But I've made plenty of other ones that don't have nearly as many views.
I know. I don't understand why SpongeBob is so popular.
I mean, I understand why, but I don't know.
Have you guys ever felt why, like, the videos that you think are bad or that you don't like as much, those are the ones that get the views?
Yep.
Yes.
Which I do actually. I kind of feel like in cases like that, it's kind of the disappointment of the video comes, or at least partially comes after the popularity. Because I think once something gets a ton of views, and then something else of yours that you think is better maybe doesn't have as many views, you start to see a lot more problems with the more viewed one. And especially knowing that, hundreds of thousands of people have watched the video, it's easier to find problems with it.
None of my videos have 100,000 views, though.
Really?
You'll get there.
My most viewed one, which is the SpongeBob Christmas one, has 52,000.
Huh.
And then it's followed by Sexy Tales with 38,000.
Okay.
And then one of the other VeggieTales ones, 35,000.
Yeah.
I think out of my top 10 most viewed videos, the only one that I like is the Drake and Josh one. That's like the only one of my top 10 most viewed videos that I look back on. I'm like, yeah, that was good.
You'll have to send me some of yours. I haven't watched any of your videos. You have to send me some of your favorite ones that you've made.
I know you've commented on some of my videos.
Yeah. I've watched a few of them.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if you were like subscribed or anything, but
Okay.
I know you. Okay,
I
wait.
think maybe I am.
And then for me, I know I say this all the time. That I've always said, my least favorite video I've ever made is why does Larry have a shoe on his head? But I've recently I at work, I decided to put on the playlist of all my YouTube poops and just kind of listen to them, and just as kind of a way to hear how my sentence mixing holds up when you can't actually see it and whatever. And I realized that I don't think that Why Does Larry Have a Shoe on His Head is really as bad as I've been making it out to be. I think the biggest issue with that one is just that there's a lot of parts that aren't edited. Like there's some parts, for some reason, this was one of my earlier YouTube poops, and for some reason I kind of was under the impression that people needed to know where the story was going of the original source. So there were some sections where I just kind of condensed the story down without adding any kind of jokes or edits or anything like that. And I think if you could, it's 7.5 minutes long. I think you could cut out probably a third of it or maybe a half of it or something like that, and it would be a decent YouTube poop. But as is, it's kind of mixed. I was actually for a while considering just as kind of half a joke, like kind of half jokingly release a director's cut, where I would just like literally cut out parts of it that I didn't like, make it a shorter version, a better version. But I didn't think that people would appreciate a re-upload. But anyway, like I said, I don't think that's as bad as I originally thought it was. So I think the video I'm the most disappointed with would either have to be Judy and Schmidt, which I think it's basically just like a bunch of little jokes that I kind of cut together with like a static transition or whatever in between the different jokes, and so it seems different from all my other YouTube poops. It's just joke after joke after joke, but without combining them, without transitioning properly between the different jokes. I don't know exactly how to explain that correctly, but if you watch it, you know what I mean. But then the other one that's equally as disappointing to me is The Thing's first channel trailer. I did that for my YouTube Pooper collab. I made 4 different YouTube poops based off of YouTube Pooper videos, and that was by far the worst one. I don't think it turned out that good.
I tried to do one of the things trailer for your collab. I don't think I said I was going to enter it, but I was like going to see if I could start something, and then I would say I was going to enter it. I tried to edit his like little vlog things and trailer for his channel, and I couldn't do it. Especially the sentence mixing was so hard for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's just from the clearly not professional sound recording equipment, and that it's kind of at a lower volume, and he speaks a little bit faster, so it's kind of hard to sentence mix. That was one thing that I noticed too when I was doing mine. It was very tricky to sentence mix.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't.
I guess now that I really think about it, that I don't really like my YTP of TheThingsOne's channel trailer either.
Well, yours was a lot better than mine.
No. Yours was much better.
No, yours actually had jokes.
I was just going to say yours was actually good.
Eh.
Mine wasn't.
But
I'll have to watch them again. I could be the third-party judge. I'm just kidding. It's probably not as bad as you guys think.
Well, I think it's easier to see problems in a video that you've made. The same goes with anything else. It's kind of like when you draw a picture, you can notice the mistakes that you made in the picture, but other people might not necessarily notice it. So I think it's kind of the same thing with YouTube poops.
Yeah.
Just anything in general. I'm sure that filmmakers feel the same way about their movies.
Well, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Actually, I think I mentioned this in the last podcast that Johnny Depp doesn't even like watching his movies that he's in because he doesn't like seeing himself on a screen.
I think you mentioned that after we stopped recording, though.
Maybe.
But yeah, now you've brought it up, so now it is in an episode.
I never even re-listened to that last episode. I really should have.
I've re-listened to it.
I don't like the sound of my voice.
Yeah, everybody is like that pretty much. It takes a while to get used to when you hear recordings of it.
Yeah, but I've been making videos for a decade now, and I still don't like the sound of my voice.
Like your voice doesn't sound that bad to me, but I feel like my voice is kind of like high and weird and blah.
Well, you sound like you're comfortable talking though. I always sound like I'm just kind of mumbling and embarrassed or whatever. So I really don't like the sound of my voice.
Huh. I don't know. I think it's okay.
Okay.
I like the lower pitch to it. You know, it kind of sounds more like authoritative.
Yeah. I've heard a couple people try to do an impression of my voice, and it always sounds like a what you'd imagine a bullfrog would sound like, or something like that. Like a dying bullfrog or something like that. Okay, we'll go on to the next question then, from Oface Studios, who asks, "What is a source you hated using the most?"
Oh, I don't know. You guys go first on this one.
Okay, and I just want to kind of very quickly give a heads up that my bird Guanum he's been flying around his cage and chirping, and he sometimes when he does that he kind of like really flies around fast and chirps loudly. So if that happens, that's what that is. Just so you know.
Oh, kind of cute. It's like a little background noise.
Well, not when when he's chirping right now, it's just fine. But when he gets excited and starts flying around, it's more like a screeching sound, so it's a little bit more annoying. But right now, it's not that bad. I just thought I'd let you know if you hear loud flapping and screeching sounds, it's just because he's flying around his cage. Okay. Anyway,
okay.
So you want to go first, then, Logan? What's the source that you hated using the most?
I don't think I've hated using any source. I don't think there's ever been a time where I'm using a source and I'm thinking, wow, this is not fun. Because usually if it's like that, usually I'll just give up.
Well, what's the source that you disliked the most? Even if you didn't necessarily hate it, you just thought, this isn't as fun as some of the other sources I've used.
That's the thing. I can't think of any, because I don't know.
Well, what about TheThingsOne's channel trailer?
As bad as the video turned out, it was fun to make.
So there isn't a single source you've used that you liked less than another source. You like all your sources equally.
Well, I mean, in terms of how much fun they were to use, I can't think of anything that I didn't like using.
Okay, well, if you can't think of anything like that, then what's the one source that you just dislike in general?
But what do you mean, like I don't like using, or just like I don't like the source? Well,
since you can't come up with anything that you disliked using, what's the one source you've used that you dislike the most for the original source?
Well, I used that React World video.
Oh yeah.
I mean that video. That was one of the few YouTube videos I disliked. Like one of maybe.
I thought you were talking about your own YouTube poop. I was like, why did you dislike your own YouTube poop?
No, the original React World video. That was like one of maybe 5 to 10 YouTube videos I've ever disliked. I don't dislike videos that often.
Yeah.
Unless if it's like that, or like the video is just like really, really bad.
Yeah, I don't really dislike videos that much on YouTube either. But since you can't come up with anything, let me just glancing through my YouTube poops really quick, seeing which one. I know the one source that I think I've had the least amount of fun using was Chadtronic. My Chadtronic YouTube poop. I don't really like how that one turned out. And I don't think it was necessarily so much the source. It was just the way that the source was in 1080p, which I think kind of slowed down Sony Vegas, and I think that's mainly the reason why I didn't really have that much fun with that one. So I guess it's not really that great of an answer, but I guess it's kind of like what you said. If you don't like using the source, usually you don't go on editing it. Usually you realize like within a minute or two that you don't like it, so you just kind of give up on it.
Yeah, I've quit a few, but I think for me the source I didn't like. I got burnt out on it really quick. It was the SpongeBob one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went back to do the second part, and I was like, oh man, I really don't want to do this, and I don't feel like I'll ever want to do another SpongeBob one.
I love making SpongeBob YouTube poops, but that's because I've watched SpongeBob so much. I'm so familiar with the source that's probably my favorite source to use.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I mean, I watched a lot of SpongeBob. Is what I mean. I watched a lot of SpongeBob. I don't. For me, my favorite part about making a YouTube poop. This is probably why I don't like SpongeBob as much. Is my favorite part is to find things in a YouTube poop or find things in the source that are like not how they were supposed to be, or just really stupid. So like if you see someone make a really stupid facial expression, or you see like a mistake in the editing,
I mean,
or a stupid laugh, and in SpongeBob that doesn't happen like nearly as much, or if they do it, it's on purpose. It's really calculated to me. It feels like it's really well made.
That's just kind of how it goes with animation for the most part, unless it's a really bad animated. Unless it's really bad animation.
I guess it really all comes down to preference of what sources you like to use.
Yeah, I really want to make another SpongeBob YouTube poop. I made my Spinge becomes a shameless sellout, which I used a bunch of SpongeBob commercials so that I could avoid having to worry about Viacom, and that was a lot of fun to make that one. I think that's the most fun I've ever had making a YouTube poop. Oh, actually, I just realized I answered the next question from J.K. Doodles. What is the most fun you had making a poop? So yeah, it's
was that the most?
Probably Spinge becomes a shameless sellout. Either that one, or which one was it? Muppets Are Bad Role Models was another one that I had a ton of fun making.
Let's see. I had a lot of fun making the Drake and Josh one, and a lot of the SpongeBob ones too. It was a little weird that I had so much fun with the Drake and Josh one, because that was literally the first time I'd watched Drake and Josh, was for that collab. The Sonic Adventure 2 YouTube poop was fun to make as well.
Well, that was like that is one of your favorite video games, though, right?
Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
really.
What? I was just thinking about that a little while ago, and I realized Sonic Adventure 2 is the only Sonic game I actually like.
I don't know how that's possible, but
because I think the side-scrolling ones are just boring and repetitive.
How are we related?
We're not.
Oh.
I actually just replayed through all four of the classic Sonic games, so 1, 2, CD, 3, and Knuckles, and I actually think those hold up really well. I think they're still really good games.
Well, we should stay on the topic of the question, so yeah, I guess you're the last one to answer then. What's the most fun you've ever had making a poop?
All right, so so there's like 3 that stand out to me. The one that I had a lot of fun making was my second Paula Deen one, Paula Deen Butters or Cocaine. That was a lot of fun because for some reason, well, I think it was the first one actually. For a while, I got sick, and I was like, and then I got I was on I had numbing medicine, and I was kind of just out of it, and I was just editing it. And actually, I woke up the next day and see what I had, and it was just completely nuts.
Was it just kind of where you were so out of it that you hardly remember doing the editing or something like that?
Yeah, well, I kind of had a headache, and my face was numbed, and I was sick. But I was just okay, I'll sit down. For some reason, when I make YTPs, the best when I do the best, it's when I'm not very awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm kind of when I'm not super energized or anything, it's where my brain is kind of foggy, and I'm just kind of thinking about. It's just kind of one of those days where you're oh, it's kind of a nice day out today, and then you're oh well, what if oh man, I gotta think of something really stupid right now. I'm kind of awake.
Mm-hmm.
What if the clouds turned into cotton candy, and then the Mario head just flew through the sky, and you're just daydreaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I find when you're kind of out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
you do a lot better.
Yeah, that's the majority of my YouTube poop editing is when I'm really tired, because I I tend to edit in large chunks. I'll edit for several hours at a time usually. If I don't usually just edit for an hour. Usually if I'm going to edit, it's 6, 7, 8, 9 hours at a time.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I had a lot of fun making was the second, or it would be the third round. It would be my second video of the Emplemon's tennis. It was Cabbage's Bender Wang.
Yeah.
So like I made the first one, and so when I made that first one, I watched the source footage like a ton. And so I kind of like, okay, well this is a pretty good first round. I think this is good. And so then Emplemon comes back, makes it pretty great, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to do this next one. And I start coming up with all these jokes in my head because like I had seen the source footage so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I was so rejuvenated for the second one. I was thinking of all these crazy jokes and stuff that I could do, especially to like diss him.
Yeah.
In the video, and I was just cracking up. Like around that time when he first released it, I was just cracking up laughing, even away from the computer, thinking of all the things I could do.
Yeah.
I think that video, the second round of tennis, that's probably one of my best videos. I think my favorite joke I've ever made is in there.
Which one's that?
So it's like I start out, it's like a big chain. So it's like, cabbages! And then it switches to iCarly, actually, where they're all like, cabbages! And then the last person to say it in iCarly is Fred, because it's the Fred episode where Fred goes on.
Uh-huh.
He goes, cabbages! And then it goes, John Cena! And then John Cena, like, it's from the Fred movie, where he, like, takes Fred and throws him into the ground.
Yeah.
And then The Rock goes, like, immediately after that, let's go, Cena! And then I put him on the boulder in Avatar, and then the Earthbender launches him in the air.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes into Scooby-Doo, and he's on the boulder rolling down the cliff. And then in there, John Cena jumps out and stops the boulder and pushes it in the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had The Rock's face on there.
Yeah, I remember that one now.
It's like a big chain. And I thought that, like, that's what Emperor Lemon does. He chains jokes so seamlessly. So I was like, I really want to try this because that's like really cool. I love it when he does that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's whenever I can do that, I always go out of my way to do that because I think that those types of jokes tend to work the best, in my opinion, or when you can chain the jokes together.
Yeah, and of course, and at the time when I made that joke, like I was also dissing Emperor Lemon's support of The Rock versus my John Cena.
Yeah.
And I referenced the Skooks, which he referenced in the first one too. So I thought it was like, I was like, oh man, it's like the best joke I've ever made.
Yeah.
And then I really like editing the iCarly one right now.
Uh-huh.
That I've been doing. I've been having a lot of fun with that because I've been doing stuff all summer, all this boring stuff. And I've just been like, I've gotten into it and I've just done so much and I forgot, like, when I did that Harry Potter one, for me, I thought that was kind of like a one-off thing because I just put so much work and planning into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of feel like I actually see that improvement going forward. I feel like I've actually gotten a lot out of making that video, and it's carried over. And I really kind of feel excited for this video we're going to release. I think it's going to be actually really good.
Yeah. This will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I have to say about. Those are the three that come to me.
Okay.
I think are the favorites I've edited.
All right. Next question from the Zapster Loves Pizza. Do you watch other smaller YTPers like me? I don't know who this is.
Oh.
I maybe it's just somebody who has a different username from their Twitter name. I don't know. Maybe I do watch them. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I don't ignore YouTube poop channels just because I have less subscribers. I know I'm subscribed to a couple of people who have like 100 or under 100 subscribers. It all comes down to the video itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of the people, I don't really subscribe to a lot of people. A lot of the people I found I subscribed to started out small and then got really big, like Goop Videos and Jallerbo, which I expect him to blow up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Actually, I think his video he released a few weeks ago already has like 100,000 views. Because I was so surprised he made so many videos. Like, he's really dirty YouTube pooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up to 8,000 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think he had just mentioned on Twitter that he'd surpassed 4,000 subscribers, and then Charmex reacted to his latest YouTube poop, and it like doubled his subscriber count.
Yeah, good for him because he's he's really good at what he does. It's really dirty, and he's been going crazy with like sex jokes. But
Yeah.
I think his editing is really brilliant.
Yeah. What about you, Logan? Do you watch smaller YouTube poop channels, or do you only stick to the 100,000 subscriber ones with 100,000 subscribers?
Well, actually, there's quite a few I'm subscribed to who have. Actually, I don't know about quite a few, but I know there's at least a few here and there that I'm subscribed to who have less than 1,000. So, like, I recently subscribed to Dofferent. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's good.
He was
Only has about
He has like 125 subscribers or something really small like that.
144.
Oh, so I guess he's gone up now. Yeah, I think I was like his 125th subscriber.
I'm scrolling through my subscriptions right now. 64th YTP. He does like really glitchy style YTPs. They're usually really short, but I think they're pretty good. He's at 599 right now. Ghost Creeper 123 is good. He only has about 131 subscribers.
Well, I guess we've already answered the question. Yeah, we do watch smaller YouTube poop channels. And I clicked on this, the Zapster Loves Pizza. I clicked on his Twitter channel. He doesn't, or Twitter account. He doesn't have his YouTube channel linked in the description. Every time somebody new follows me on Twitter, I always check their channel and see if they have a YouTube link and check out their YouTube channel. But there isn't one linked in there, so I have no idea who that is.
I don't even keep up with my Twitter followers because I don't usually even get notified.
You're too good.
I was gonna say
too good for that after EoRaptor retweeted you.
No, what I was gonna say is it usually doesn't even really notify me. I mean, it will, but then it's usually like someone who follows thousands of people.
Well, yeah, I always ignore it if they have more. If they're following like 10 times more people than are following them, then it's not even worth checking out. They're just somebody who follows everybody.
I mean, there's some people I know who follow like a couple thousand people, but they actually do follow those people legitimately. There's a few of them that are like that, but most of the time when it's like that, they're just following a bunch of people because I don't know.
Okay.
So that way more people will know who they are, I guess.
A lot of people, it's the follow back rule, where if someone follows you, then they'll follow you back.
Like
I have.
Are you gonna continue?
I was gonna say I think I'm only following about out of like my 300 followers. I think I'm only following about 30 or 40 of them.
How many people do you follow in total?
425.
I'm only following 105, and even then, that's too many.
Well, I honestly don't really even keep up with Twitter that much anymore.
That's the first thing I always do whenever I turn on my computer is I go onto Twitter and read every tweet that I've missed. I've ever since I joined last September, I've only ever missed tweets on Twitter when I didn't have internet for that month. And actually, that was a really nice break. I should maybe not use Twitter so much. But then it always annoys me when I know that I missed some tweets.
Yeah.
I'm following too many people to keep up, so I just occasionally will scroll through for a half hour to an hour and just leave it at that. But I mean, I don't know. I've kind of lost interest in using Twitter in general, it seems like.
Okay, so this next question is specifically for you, MasterJoJ. It's from Shafrillis. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. You know Shafrillis Productions on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, I know him, yeah.
Yeah, he makes really, really good YouTube poops. They're really unique as well. But he says, probably a stupid question, but do you actually own those chickens? That bit at the end of your tennis match with Emplemon was mind-blowing.
Yeah, I actually own them. I could actually go into the yard and get one, maybe get one to, like, squawk a little bit if you want.
I don't know.
You might have to entertain each other for
I don't think Logan can talk for that long.
I need to actually watch that tennis so I can know this context.
Wait, you haven't watched the tennis?
Oh yeah, you gotta watch that, man.
I haven't watched the tennis yet.
You know, I kind of changing topics a little bit to the tennis. I haven't watched any of Avatar yet, but I actually own the entire series on DVD. I just haven't got around to watching it yet.
You gotta watch that, man. That's one of, I think, on IMDb, which I like to surf around every once in a while, because they have really good shows. Because it's basically just a database of all the shows that are recorded in there, which is just tons and tons. And actually, Avatar is one of the highest rated TV shows on there.
Yeah. Although I need to finish Supernatural first. I can't do 2 shows at a time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to answer the question, then yes, you do own those chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last question then from Green Productions TV. What's your favorite anime?
Family Guy, Funny Moments, the movie. That's my favorite anime. It's a good movie.
But have you read the manga yet?
I have not.
You're not a true fan.
Oh.
No.
No, I have never watched anime before. I mean, I've definitely seen clips of anime before, but I think I do actually own a VHS copy of a Fire Emblem anime, very short-lived series. I think it was only like 5 or 6 episodes long, but I found it at a local thrift store for 25 cents. It was with the case and everything, and I decided to look it up when I got back on eBay. It sells for $40, so I got a pretty good deal on that. But I haven't actually watched it yet, so I don't know if I'm a weeb yet.
Yeah, like I really like animation in general, and I really like the style of anime. But the thing is that I'm not much of a TV guy. So I think I've watched like 1 or 2 animes, and they were okay. I think I picked ones that are pretty mainstream and people wouldn't like. If you were to talk to like an anime crazy person, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, those are ones you don't want to watch." Like I watched Attack on Titan and I watched Sword Art Online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know there's one that they have on Netflix that I've been considering watching because I've heard it's a really good anime. I think I've even heard it's a good place to start. I think it's called One Punch Man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've heard that's good.
Yeah, I know that they have that on Netflix, and I guess I mean it's not a true anime. It's just anime. Clearly has anime-inspired artwork, but I did watch the Castlevania series they have on Netflix. I mean, it's only 1 season, and it's only like 4 episodes long, but I enjoyed that.
I need to watch that.
It's not... What were you saying?
Yeah, you can talk to him.
I was just going to say, it's not... It's far from perfect. There are a lot of issues with it, but overall, it's pretty enjoyable. It's definitely very, very TVMA rated. There's a lot of blood and gore in it.
I'm more of a movie person.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch much television shows because I usually get disinterested in them pretty easily.
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems with anime too, is that there seems to be hundreds and hundreds of episodes of any anime, and it almost seems like it's work to try to watch an anime. There's so many episodes, especially
when you don't have much time. Like probably us, it's pretty big investment to watch a really long show. Like a good anime has a lot of seasons because they keep going.
Yeah.
Most of them, I'd say. There's a few that don't. Like I kind of wanted to watch Cowboy Bebop because it supposedly inspired so many animations all around the world.
Isn't that the one that's been running since like the 60s or something like that?
Is it still running? I thought there was only a few seasons.
Hang on a minute, let me look this up.
I know there is an anime that's been going on since like the 60s, and it has like the record for the most episodes of any TV series.
Oh, has that been going on this whole time? No, it looks like
I remember. Hang on, I'm looking this up right now. Cowboy Bebop. Because I remember, I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but I don't remember it being Cowboy Bebop. I remember it being something else.
Like I don't know. I was just wondering. I just know for sure there is an anime that's been going for decades.
The manga.
Maybe it's like Bleach or Pokemon.
Well, Pokemon wouldn't have been from the 60s.
The anime
that would have been from the 90s.
The anime TV series, according to Wikipedia, ran from 1998 to 1999. Had 26 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I kind of wanted to watch that one because supposedly that one is really good.
Yeah, that seems to be like one of the like 5 animes that people talk about when they're talking about really popular, influential animes.
Yeah. I'm more of a movie guy because I like to just sit down and, get the whole story, get the whole idea of the whatever is trying to be presented all in one sitting.
Uh-huh.
I really like that because and plus it doesn't take as much time. So I really like Hayao Miyazaki films.
Yeah. I've never
That's the guy.
Never seen any of those, but I do want to. They look like they'd be good.
Oh my gosh. He's the guy who made Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Princess Mononoke and stuff like that.
I think one of the things that I know this is kind of a very unpopular opinion, but I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the look of anime. I just, obviously the drawings are really, really detailed and everything, but then it takes a toll on the frame rate, and I don't know for sure if I necessarily enjoy that look.
I think that depends on. I think that might depend on which one you're watching, because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of anime television shows and stuff that aren't exactly larger budget probably struggle to have. I really like fluid animation.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times when, of course, when you don't have enough frames or you don't project the motion correctly, yeah, it can get a little bit of choppy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you could do it right and still get a really low frame rate like that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there are. It seems like the number one genre for any anime is action. So I'm sure, there's no way you could do a big action scene at 10 frames per second and have people love it. So I'm sure that there are ways around it, but it's just, like I said, I don't hate it or anything. I'm just I literally don't know how to feel about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, now we're definitely triggering people now.
Oh yeah, no, we should go back to the pony porn.
Actually, I don't know why you're so set on that, man.
I keep looking at Twitter, and MLP Season 7 is trending right now, so that just keeps reminding me of it.
I thought you were going to say, I keep looking at pony porn.
Yes, I've been looking at pony porn this entire time.
He has a newfound discovery that he loves it.
Well, speaking of
I will throw you in the room with the chain lock door.
Oh yeah, you should.
I want to go to the Shrek room.
You don't need the chain lock door to keep me in.
Yeah. The Shrek room sounds interesting though.
Yes.
I want to go there. I want to go there instead. Shrek 2 is actually a really good movie, so why not?
Yeah.
just watch it in a weird way, where everybody's drunk and dressed up as Shrek.
We were saying, the things and I were joking. We were like, man, next year for the Shrek meet, we should find a wooden outhouse and stick it in there, and then play "Hey Now, You're a Rock Star," and just have people taking turns busting out of the door.
Yeah.
Let's have a Shrek convention.
That has to exist.
It probably does.
Yeah.
Construction.
What?
That
sounds like a disease or something.
Contraction.
Is there one more question?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know with the last one we did with Nintendom64 and Might Eyes, all 4 of us tweeted out, so we had a ton of questions. I think the majority of that one was just questions from Twitter. But, I mean, it's better than when we did the one with Kier Epton. We didn't get a single question on Twitter.
Who is that again?
Kier Epton?
Yeah.
He's a smaller YouTube pooper. I think he's just a little over 500 subscribers right now. Honestly, I can't really think of too many of his YouTube poops that really stand out, but he does make really good YouTube poops.
Mm. All right. Yeah, man, we'll have to talk a little bit after this and send a bunch of links and stuff to all the stuff we were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of links too, we do in every episode we ask the person we're interviewing or talking to, not really an interview, but we ask them for the 3 YouTube poops that they want us to link to in the description of this video. So for people listening who've maybe never seen your videos before, what would be the 3 YouTube poops that you've made that you'd recommend they start out with?
Okay, so, because well, I want to link the Harry Pothead and the Stoner Stone one.
Okay.
And then I want to link Emplemon's Tennis. He has a playlist of it on his channel.
Okay.
Of the tennis. And then I'm thinking maybe I could link one that's not my video. Should I just do my video?
That's Guanum.
Oh, that's pretty loud.
Yeah, and I just realized why he's freaking out like that is his food dish is empty.
Oh.
So yeah, we'll try to wrap this up, and I'll give him his seeds then. So what was one you said? Last one you said?
Okay. I guess for the third one.
It doesn't even necessarily need to be one that you would consider some of your best. It could just be something that would, help people get introduced to your style or whatever.
Okay. So maybe you'll do the Woah It's Made one.
Okay.
It's pretty related to TheThingsOne. We've been talking to him a lot. I made it based off of those videos, so.
Yeah.
And he seemed to enjoy it, so I figured that'd be a good one to throw out there, I guess.
Okay, so it's Harry Pothead and the Stoner Stone, the tennis with you and Emplemon, and Woah It's Made.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess I think that's really it. I know it's always difficult for me to figure out how to wrap things up, but I think we talked about everything that we wanted to talk about, answered all the questions, so yeah, I guess that's it. I hate ending these things, so I guess everybody just say goodbye then.
Goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
Logan.
Goodbye.
Okay.